education is still one of the main focus area for a large number of parents. Shark Tank presents you a massive opportunity in terms of building a brand visibility. Today, unfortunately, in India, at 9 out of 10 kids can't speak and read properly. If you can't read English, then how will you read all these books? I think it's a global language we need to master. It is so serious when someone speak bad English or they make typo in their resume. Yeah, it's been amazing. An entrepreneur, I keep saying that it's a spiritual journey. There is already a FOMO which parents goes through. Kids needs to devote more time on reading books. English is not just a language. It's a tool for success in the modern world. With an estimated 1.5 billion speakers and recognition in 96 countries, English has become the bridge that connects people across cultures, industries, and borders. In today's fast paced world, strong leadership skills are crucial for success, and English can give children the confidence to become the global leader of tomorrow. To explore this, we are joined by Mr. Ashish Gupta, founder and CEO of Bambinos, the edtech platform that secured funding on Shark Tank India Season 4. Hi Ashish, I welcome you to the Crazy Careers podcast. Thank you so much for joining us in today. Yeah, my pleasure, Nita. Thank you very much for inviting me. Looking forward. Thank you. Ashish, what made you to start Bambinos, and basically, what is the exact problem that you are trying to solve? See, we started Bambinos in roughly 2021. The reason why we started, there are three major reasons. One, a deep interest as well as experience in working in the kids space. I and my co-founder, who was the CEO for Europe Kids, has spent close to 20 years in the kids learning space. Myself, I worked with CureFit and we had some experience in terms of launching product in the kids area. Okay, so that is one reason. The second, we were quite passionate about education based on our personal story. So we felt that that is something which we feel passionate about it. And third, I think in terms of the opportunity, education is still one of the main focus area for a large number of parents or in India, right? I mean, it is one of the very unsolved problem. So in terms of as an entrepreneur, it's a massive opportunity if somebody wants to devote and crack this in terms of outcome as an entrepreneur. So these were the three key reasons why we thought of building something in the kids space, and here we are right now. Yeah. So tell us a bit about yourself, your life journey so far. See, I'm born and brought up in Chandigarh. Okay, I mean, few years in a small town in Haryana, and then from 10th grade onward, I studied in Chandigarh. I did my engineering from there, from Jamnagar College, and then I worked for close to 10-12 years in different areas in India, US, across different industries, e-commerce, consulting. My last 5 years, I worked with a company name as Accenture as an consultant, and then for 3 years I worked with Amazon, okay, for India business, where I was working in their operations and supply chain department. So that's my sort of professional experience, and currently I'm based out of Bangalore. So you have worked with big companies like Accenture, CureFit, and Amazon. So do you think that the experience that you took from these companies helped you to build Bambinos or throughout this journey? Certainly, especially my experience of working with Amazon and CureFit. I think Amazon helped me to learn about managing teams, building processes, thinking about kind of how you pick up market, how you solve and run your operations and business. Okay? It's a very culture driven company. So there is a lot of learning in terms of Amazon 14 leadership principle makes you kind of become very good professional and leader. My experience with CureFit has been again amazing. I think I learned grounds up how a startup needs to be built, how you need to drive, how you need to show hustle, right? I mean, those experiences definitely has helped me evolve as an individual, as a professional, and definitely helped me scale and build Bambinos. You got funding on Shark Tank India. So how will that help Bambinos to grow, and how was your complete experience of being in Shark Tank India, pitching your company and getting the funding? I think there are two important reasons why we were and what we got from Shark Tank program. I think one, it presents you a massive opportunity in terms of presence and in terms of building a brand visibility, right? So that is where you help build credibility. As a founder, I could speak about my story, and I could help relate to my customers what we are building, right? So that builds a good kind of exercise to build your brand. So that is one massive outcome that we have seen. Now, when we speak to our customers, they see us, they come to us, and they feel certain level of trust. And education is about trust, right? The second is, of course, having the entire process is very uh, grilling, helps you think deeper. It is a 1 year long process. So during the process, we interacted with a lot of people, learned, we shared our experience, we learned from their experiences. I think the sharks themselves have been a great mentor. So I think that's another, in terms of the opportunity to network as well as learn from each other, has been again a big outcome of our journey. Why do you think that early English learning is really important for child's future success? How do you address that? And why do you think that early English learning is really important for a child's overall development? See, you have to look at language is a medium to communicate. Okay. Today, if you look at all our major literature, all our major books, the communication that we see is in English literature, is in English language, right? So, and communication is an important aspect of building individual personality, individual kind of professional journey, great outcomes, right? So, communication we understand is very important. Now we need to learn the language where the world is learning or speaking, right? So globally, if you want to be relevant and you want to become and more successful in your career, the language which is English becomes very relevant. Today, unfortunately, in India, if I look at the early learning skills, 9 out of 10 kids can't speak and read properly. These are documented facts uh, of India, right? I mean, there are reports, ACER report, which suggests that grade 3 students can't even read a basic language. Now, if you can't read English, then how will you read all these books, the knowledge? How will you transfer that knowledge, right? And that's why the foundational literacy skill becomes so critical, that if you don't master that, if you don't build your reading skills or language learning skills, right, you will be left behind. See, I would not have any problem if our language would have been, let's say, Hindi, or let's say any other language. If that language is something where we interact in day-to-day life, or in our professional life, or globally we use that, then we should learn that. The idea is that all literature is in English. So English is what we need to follow, right? And if the kid needs to be successful, we have to follow that. I mean, we have to master that. And I think there is no longer a taboo. I think it's a global language. We need to master. The faster we master, the better we become in our life, right? By the age 12, 13, your career, your schooling become more serious, right? So hence literacy skills very critical. Right. So India ranks low in global education rankings. So what are some reasons behind it? I think the fundamentals of the language in terms of the quality of the teachers that we have, right? The overall education quality is still not as per what it needs to be, right? The teachers, the curriculum, the overall ecosystem. I think all these three factors makes it hard for kids to kind of learn language. Another important issue that we have in India, that we are a country with so many different languages, right? Today, if you typically see a student, he has to learn, because of different reason, 3 to 4 languages in a school, right? He has to learn English, he has to learn the local language, he has to learn Hindi, and sometimes they pick up optional language such as French, German, so 4 languages, right? That burden itself is right. So now, because of that, the emphasis on one particular aspect, you lose out. So I think these are many factors which kind of makes it difficult for kids to learn it very early. Our environment at home is also not that much. Like, the native speaking countries have a better skills when it comes to teaching kids language. Even in India, when we speak this language, English language at home, the child pick up that, right? I mean, they become better, right? So I think over the period of time, we see this improving. But it is not about how you speak. It is more about whether your skills in reading is there, whether you can confidently speak, right? Today, we swipe someone's resume if there is a typo, right? I mean, right? So can you imagine? I mean, so it is so serious when someone speak bad English or they make typo in their resume, we just reject them, right? So I mean that's the emphasis or the importance of the language. During this journey, did you notice any changes in the parents' perspectives on the need for the early education and awareness among them? Did you find it? Yeah, I think like I'm a parent of 9-year-old kid, right? I mean, and I definitely feel that the better education that a student get early years will have a long-term impact in terms of how the child grows up, right? So there is a lot more awareness in terms of parents understanding it, because we travel to different countries. We see how important it is to have good education. The kids have maximum kind of brain development, ability to learn new things is during the early years. So the more you expose them, the more you give them a structured learning approach, the better it is for their development. Right, right. So you want to make Bambinos as a global brand. So what are your plans ahead? See, we focus more on solving the problem, and for us, the problem that we're trying to solve is to build a credible and affordable brand in the language learning space. English being one of them. We may launch more categories. So our goal is to give a right start to a student during the early years. So we focus kids between the age group of 4 to 12. So we want to develop and give them the right start. And currently we are focusing on literacy skills. We may come up with more other foundational level skills. But the idea is that by solving the problem, the brand itself will become big. Of course, it will become global. We already have more than 40% of our students which are outside India. Okay, so we have that aspiration, but our goal on a day-to-day basis, our mission is to kind of provide that right start to a student. Right. So do you find any difference between the Indian student and global students in terms of adapting the English language? I think the way we have designed our curriculum remain the same for India as well as outside India. See, that's the beauty of the early age group, right? They have not been exposed. They don't need to de-learn something to learn new things, right? That they will be learning the first time, whether they are from India or outside India, they will be learning for the first time. So the better, so that doesn't changes things in terms of how we teach them, right? There may be some cultural differences, right? But otherwise, the methodology, the approach remain the same. Once they take, we see a similar outcome when a kid who joins us versus a kid who joins from, let's say, North America. In terms of outcome, they remain the same. In fact, that is one of the thing, because we are building remain the same in terms of the curriculum, everything that we have designed, keeping our global audience in mind, right? So kids in India, when they look up or when they enroll, so they already get that sort of quality, what they will not get in schools. And that is our vision, that the quality needs to be very high. The outcome, the learning outcome has to be measurable. So that is what we deliver day in, day out. Right. How has been your entrepreneurial journey so far? I think it's been amazing. I believe that being an entrepreneur, it gives you an opportunity to self-reflect and understand your weaknesses, your strength. And somewhere I keep saying that it's a spiritual journey, because you get to know about yourself. You have a lot of highs, you have a lot of lows. So you get touched to about kind of a deeper level. I mean, you have to show a lot of strength in terms of when you are going, when your company going very low, there are always a moments, right? So that makes you stronger. So for me, this journey is more about self-reflection and knowing myself better. I think I just continue to do that every now and then. I don't look too much futuristic what the company will give me. I'm just trying to enjoy each day and make sure that and in the process, my vision is that when we grow, let's say 10 years down the line, we should be proud of what we have built. That's the only thing that we see. Yeah. Right. Can you tell us a bit about that breaking point when you thought, no, entrepreneurship is my call and I really want to do this? No, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, maybe very early age, but right after my college. But I think that time it was not so easy coming from a middle class family, getting a placement, working in a company, getting married. Kind of those social pressures are more important for a family than other stuff, right? And I was not that strong enough to take that call. But once I was financially, emotionally was strong, so I took that decision. But I think, and I keep saying this, that entrepreneurship is really critical, as well as it's overall. The earlier you start, the better it is. You will eventually, if not one, if second startup or third startup, you will eventually be successful. So one should always try to pursue this and build value for the ecosystem. I think it is the greater service that one can do for the nation, for the society, by building innovative products, so that the society move forward, right? So, and, you need to be right only one time in life, and if you are right anytime, I mean, out of multiple attempts, you will gain large enough wealth for yourself, or you will end up building great innovative product which the society is using, and in the process you leave your legacy. I think that is how I feel one should always attempt to entrepreneurship as early as possible. Right. So, do parents find it difficult to trust online learning these days? I think we don't see that as a factor of trust. We shop so much on Amazon. All our different products we are today buying online, right? So I don't see that the issue is around the trust. I think the issue is around whether a company can deliver sustainable learning outcome. I think for us, we try to get the parent to start even for a month and try it out. If they like it, they will continue, because our business is about retention, not about conversion. Right. We are in a business where we just need to convert new parents. Our business is about converting less number of parents, but retaining them for a longer period of time, because then only the business becomes stronger, and then there is a value that has been delivered to the customer. If there is no retention, the acquisition, then there is a problem. And a lot of companies got into this struggle when they raise funding, because when they have raised funding, they need to continue to show growth. So their focus became more on acquiring new user, and they could not focus more on the retention part. And that's where you are losing money. You're spending so much money to acquire new customers, and then you're losing those customers in a short span of time. So fundamentals of the business uh, could never kind of be built, right? So that's, I think, is an issue. So you need to build that long-term sustainable learning outcome in the education business. If that is there, there is already a FOMO which parents goes through, right? You would always want to put your kids in the best place, right? Of course, it has to be affordable, but want to be, so that FOMO is already there. You don't need to overuse that FOMO. If you can deliver outcome, you have already kind of build a good business. Right. What would be your advice to the parents to improve the English speaking and reading skills for their children? I think one, they should definitely explore enrolling their kids in Bambinos. That is one. Okay. Second, very important. The reading skills are very important. The kids needs to devote more time on reading books. We in Bambinos have a structured way where we kind of make sure that not only in the classroom but outside the classroom, the kid has to read maybe a 5-page of day book every day, right? So that reading habit is important. The more you make them read, one, it helps you uh, intellectually strong, knowledge wise they become better, sharper, their English language becomes even stronger, right? So across all the dimension, reading is a very important life skill. If you can make them read early on, that habit goes a long way. And there are a lot of stats which suggest that people who reads more, they are wealthier, richer, successful. Right, right. All right. It was really an insightful conversation, and thank you so much for joining us in and giving us your time from your busy schedule. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nita.